Hi, I'm here. I'm back. I have been gone for a long time, but I figured I would come back because I feel like I could help people with my story, the knowledge that I have come to acquire since becoming a mom, on top of being a yoga teacher and having that experience as well. So welcome. Just a little background, just in case you're just stumbling upon this video. I'm Christina. I am an online yoga teacher. I've written 3 books about yoga, but I am also a mom of 2. I have a 1.5-year-old and a 6.5-month-old at the time of filming this video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about my story. So I guess as a little video to get back in there, I'm going to catch everybody up, whoever is interested in being caught up, and also provide some value, hopefully, to people who are looking for it. So how I have come from not thinking I was going to be able to have children to having 2 babies. And I would like to share with you what happened and how it happened. Hopefully to help anyone I can who is going through the same thing, because the fertility trying to conceive struggle is 100% real, and I would like to help whoever I can get through it. I'm not going to go into huge detail about the losses that I've had, but I've had 2 losses. Both losses were early, thankfully. However, an early loss or not, they're all difficult. And if you have gone through losses as well, I'm really sorry for your loss, and I understand how hard it is to go through that. Anyway, so I had 2 losses. Usually I've heard that after 3 losses is when they start to do blood testing. However, my doctor is more of like a, I don't know how to put it, she just like wants to get things done, which is exactly like me. She's like, why wait for the 3rd one? Let's just test and see what's going on. So she has always been an advocate for me, and she's no longer my doctor because I moved since then, but I been seeing her since I was 18. So I highly recommend getting a doctor that you feel comfortable with and that aligns with your values. That's a side note. Anyway, so my OBGYN sent me for recurring pregnancy loss blood testing, a whole panel of things. And what they found was that I had antiphospholipid syndrome. I don't know the details of it. Even then, like, it's a bit confusing, so it would be hard for me to sum it up into a short YouTube video. However, that was discovered within my blood tests. Now, antiphospholipid syndrome is basically a blood clotting disorder. So I have really sticky blood. And that is linked to recurring early pregnancy loss, and also for people with a more severe case of EPS, so I've been told, is also linked to late pregnancy loss. Yes, so my doctor basically set me on the protocol for that, for treating that. But before we jump the gun and get into that portion of it, I had to ask her for another test because I kept getting recurring yeast infections. Now I know that's gross, but this is, a pregnancy video, so we're gonna get a little bit graphic. So I was like, I just have a little feeling that there's something else. So she tested me for, I have to look it up. I found it. It was called, so I had her test me for ureaplasma. That is also linked, like an overgrowth of ureaplasma or positive for ureaplasma is also linked to early miscarriage. So we had discovered the antiphospholipid syndrome, and we had discovered, and she was just getting ready to just send me off and be like, okay, try to get pregnant again. And I was like, wait a minute, no. And I'm glad I did, because the treatment for ureaplasma is an antibiotic that is not safe for pregnancy. So if I were to have started to try to get to have a baby again, that cycle, without treating the ureaplasma with the antibiotics, then I could have suffered another miscarriage. So moral of that story is be your own advocate. If you have a feeling that something else needs to be done, even though the doctor was like, I don't think it's that, whatever, I was like, please, I would like to test for this. Be your own advocate, speak up, and don't be afraid just because it's a doctor doesn't mean that you don't know what's best for yourself. Now, I'm not saying don't listen to your doctor, but you have an internal kind of instinct. You have an instinct. I think that's the word. That's not the word. What is the word? Hey Siri, what's another word for instinct?
Synonyms for instinct include natural tendency, inborn tendency, an inherent tendency.
No, that's not it either. Intuition! Intuition. You have an intuition, you have an instinct, you have an internal kind of knowledge of yourself, and you know yourself best. So if you have a feeling you want to test for something else, then definitely ask your doctor about it. That was treated with an antibiotic. Then the very first cycle after that treatment, I got pregnant with my daughter, which was amazing and scary. I have a video about it, all about what happened during the whole month that I was trying to conceive that cycle. What I did. I have ovulation videos and stuff. Go back in the channel. Everything can also be linked in the description if I remember to do that. So yes, so then the protocol for antiphospholipid syndrome throughout the entire pregnancy is blood thinners. So I had to basically, from the time I started to try to conceive, I was on baby aspirin, so 81 milligrams of low-dose aspirin. I got the Bayer's because it was easy on your stomach. It has to be a certain, Bayer's. Oh, also on top of that, I had to start seeing MFM. I had to start seeing an MFM, a maternal fetal medicine doctor, on top of my regular OBGYN. Because of the blood clotting, I was considered a high-risk pregnancy. So I had to be monitored more carefully throughout the pregnancy. I had to take blood thinning injections. They're called Lovenox every single day throughout the entire pregnancy, starting from the ultrasound where I first was able to hear the heartbeat. So they had to detect a heartbeat. Before they prescribed me the blood thinning injections, they had to detect a fetal heartbeat, and they had to make sure that the pregnancy was viable. Now, some people don't have to do that if you have a really advanced case of APS, and mine was not that advanced, and they didn't think that it was worth the risk of starting the Lovenox injections before they found out the pregnancy was viable. So they found out the pregnancy was viable, and they started the Lovenox injections. Before that, when I first got the pregnancy test, I upped my low-dose aspirin to 1.5 pills that I would take instead of 81 milligrams, which is what I was taking while I was trying to conceive. And then once I started the Lovenox, once I heard the fetal heartbeat at 6 weeks, which was thankfully, I didn't have to wait till 8 weeks, then we started the Lovenox, and I bumped the low-dose aspirin back down to 81 milligrams. So I was taking 81 milligrams of low-dose aspirin and Lovenox. Now, I don't remember my dosage of Lovenox. Yeah, that will be determined with your doctor. Yes, that is how I came to discover what to do to have 2 babies. So I had to be monitored because of the blood thinners more carefully, so I had to go in for more ultrasounds, more blood testing and everything, which was fine because I was a nervous wreck the whole time anyway, and I wanted to make sure that she was okay every single minute. 7 months after I had my daughter, I found out I was pregnant with my son. And it was half trying and half surprise. And I'll get into that story another time as well. But I knew exactly what to do. So I was not taking the low-dose aspirin, but as soon as I got the positive pregnancy test, I started taking the 1.5 dose of the low-dose aspirin, and then I booked my appointment at the OB/GYN, and I was like, this is what happened last time, this is what I need to do. And I can link all of the resources and all of the things that helped me to get to that point of having a successful pregnancy and then having a second successful pregnancy where I knew exactly what to do to get to the end and have a healthy baby. I'll link all those resources, and not even just like affiliate links. Like some will be Amazon products and there'll be affiliate links, whatever, but like I will link everything that I will write out everything that I did so that it's there, whether it's in the description or in a blog post linked in the description, you'll find it somewhere. So yeah, I have to get going because my battery is flashing and I have to film another video. Now I understand why all the mom vloggers talk so fast in their videos, because they're trying to get as much done as physically possible because there is no time during the day to do anything. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope it wasn't too rambly, and I hope it helped you to discover what is happening with you and to get to the point where you can have children successfully, because I know how hard it is, and I know that I was scouring the internet when I was trying to conceive my daughter, trying to find answers, and I found them and they were helpful, and now I have 2 kids, so I only hope the same for you. Lots of love to you. Bye.